All right, CNT 120, we're working on Chapter 4 Lab, Part 6 now. We're going to look at our IP version 6 header and ICMP version 6 as well. So this time, I want to set an IP version 6 address on both my Windows and Linux. So on my Windows machine, I want to do an ipconfig /all so I can get the MAC address handy because I need that for setting my IP version 6 address. So I'm going to get that handy. I'm going to keep that right there. Okay. So I'm going to go to where I make my network setting changes. Come in here, network and sharing, Ethernet 3, properties, scroll down IP version 6, properties, and we want to use the following. So we're going to do FD00::, and then we're going to use the last 6 of our MAC address up here. So we're going to use 2A:26:23. So I'm just going to double check that, make sure I have no typos. 2A:26:23 looks good. Prefix 64, and I'll use for my gateway FD00::1. We will apply all that, and I'm going to do a quick double check on this too. I'll do an ipconfig on this and verify that that IP address changed. And there it is, FD00::2A:26:23. So now my IP version 6 address is set on Windows. I want to repeat the same process on my Linux VM. Same kind of thing. Actually, I'll get my ifconfig handy here. So there's my ifconfig. And here is my MAC address on this guy, 6655D3. So come up here, network settings, shut my NIC off, go to where I make my setting changes, IP version 6, manual, and I'm going to do FD00 again, : and I'm going to do this 66:55:D3, right there, 6655D3, prefix 64, and I'm going to use my FD00::1 as my gateway again. Come back here, turn it on. I'm going to verify that that shows up. And there he is right there. Excellent. So while I'm at it, I'm going to do a real quick test ping because I need to do that. This is what I'm going to eventually do. So I'll do ping 6 of my Windows machine. So FD00::, 2A:26:23. And we have a successful. Excellent. So now I have this set up that I can move on to the next part. That's what I'm doing there. Now I'm going to Wireshark a ping from Linux to Windows. So I will pull my Wireshark up. There's my capture from the last one. I'll clear the filter. I'll start a new capture. And then from my Linux machine, I will reissue that ping to my Windows. Let a couple go. A couple is all I need. I'll stop that. I'll come over here and I'll stop my Wireshark capture. Excellent. Now I'm going to put a filter in for my ICMP version 6. So I'll come over here. If I do ICMP and I pause, I'll see that that's ICMP version 4. Here's an option for ICMP version 6. Now I'm only looking at ICMP version 6 stuff. I'll scroll down just a little bit till I start seeing my ping requests and replies. I'll highlight one of my ping requests coming from Linux to Windows. So I'll highlight that, and what I want to do is I want to actually look at the source and destination IPs in here in my IP version 6 header. So I'll open up the IP version 6 header and take a look at what I see. So here's my IP version 6 header on that ping. Here's the version field, version 6. There's the traffic class field. That's for priority. Here's the flow label. That is identifier to identify all the data packets that might be part of a conversation. Payload length 64. Next header says, hey, inside of me is ICMP version 6. Hop limit of 64 for my network. And then the source IP version 6 address and the destination IP version 6 address. So there's my IP version 6 header fields. Those should look familiar. That's the first thing I had you look for here. After that, let's look at the ICMP version 6 header and see if it has some of the things in that we saw in the book. So if I open the ICMP version 6 header, I see it's a ping request. There's a checksum, and down here's the data. Not much to it. Not much to it. Okay, as we saw with the ICMP version 4 header before, not a whole lot to it, but I see that indeed this is a ping request. If I highlight the next one in line, I'll see it's a ping reply. So I do see that header field change. All right, we'll do a flow graph of this and save this for submission too. So I'll come over here and I'll do stats, flow graph. I'll do limit to display filter, and I'll pick ICMP version 6 flows. That way I'm only seeing that stuff, and I'll do a save as. And I'll point this to the desktop, and this time I'll call it IP version 6, ICMP version 6, and save that. Excellent. And there's proof of us looking at our ICMP version 6 header, as well as the IP version 6 header and the ICMP version 6 header. Only thing left to do is set our IP addresses back, so we'll set them back to dynamic. So I'll come in here real quick on my Windows machine, network and sharing, Ethernet 3, properties. I'll come down here to IP version 6 properties and do obtain. And he should be back to normal on the network. I would obviously verify with my IP config. I'll make sure that that address is gone and I no longer see that FD00 address, so I know it's gone. I'll come over to Linux, shut the NIC off, come in here, IP version 6, and again, remember I need to delete my fields here. Then I'll do automatic, and I will apply that, turn my NIC back on. I should see that FD00 address go away, and if I do an ifconfig, I should see the FD00 address go away, and I do. So there is my IP version 6 and my ICMP version 6.